Hey everyone, it's August 7th, and that means that if today is your birthday, you share with German serial killer Anna Zwanzinger, known as the German Brinvilliers, who murdered at least 3 victims, though likely many more in the early 1800s. And that is a drawing of her right up there, because they didn't have cameras in the courtroom back then. Her nickname was a reference to French serial killer Madame Brinvilliers, and you can scroll back to July 22nd to learn more about her. Zwanzinger was born in 1760 in Bavaria, and by the age of 5 was an orphan, with both of her parents dying at a young age. At the age of 15, she was married off to a 30-year-old lawyer by whom she had 2 children. It was not a happy marriage, as one might assume, and her husband drank to the point where he became unemployable, forcing Zwanzinger to work as a prostitute to feed herself and the children. At one point, she seemed to break free from her terrible marriage, filing for divorce, but the day after the proceedings, she returned to her husband and the two married again. When she was 33, her husband died, and for the next 20 years she worked as a servant for wealthy families, often trying to seduce her employers to entice them to leave their wives for her. In some cases, the wives mysteriously died, but she was still unable to attract the affections of any of her employers. In 1808, she took a job as a housekeeper for a judge who had recently divorced his wife, and she thought this was finally her chance. The wife returned after a few months, however, seemingly thwarting her plans, but she became ill just after her return, suffering violent bouts of vomiting, diarrhea, pain, and nausea. She suffered this illness for 5 weeks before dying in August of 1808. A month later, Zwanzinger began working for another judge who suffered from poor health and was bedridden much of the time. In the spring of 1809, he began to suffer the same symptoms as the wife of her last employer. He died 11 days later, and Zwanzinger found herself working for yet another judge the next day. The lady of the house was pregnant, needing help during the final stretch, and had her baby shortly after Zwanzinger arrived. After 3 days, the mother became violently ill, just as her earlier employers had. On May 20th, the mother died, with her final words being, "Merciful heaven, you have given me poison." The husband kept Zwanzinger on as an employee, and a few months later had friends over for dinner who contracted the same symptoms as those who had died previously. Rumors started to circulate about Zwanzinger, but no one had any proof that she had poisoned anyone. After a poker party where 5 people became ill, Zwanzinger was finally arrested, and when searched, she was found to be in possession of arsenic. Her previous employers were exhumed, and the poison was found in their corpses. After 6 months of investigation and questioning, she confessed, saying, "Yes, I killed them all and would have killed more if I had the chance." Zwanzinger referred to arsenic as her truest friend and said, "It is perhaps better for the community that I should die, as it would be impossible for me to give up the practicing of poisoning people." She was executed by sword in 1811, having killed at least 3 victims and likely many more. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know somebody whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Anna Zwanzinger, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.